Hi guys, Thane and Judy here.
Hi.
So, I made contact recently with the Earthbuilders Guild. They're the go-to group and organization for anything to do with earthen construction. They have all kinds of classes and all that. So, with no further ado,
So we're gonna head down to
Monica's.
Monica's in Old Town. It's a restaurant, and that's where they're gonna meet. So that's exciting. We wanted to go down to Old Town and check out some of the restaurants. So that's kind of something that's like.
And then after lunch.
So after lunch, now this is the
Yeah.
exciting part. Now, months ago, we have a friend named Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence, and he set up that we could look at an Adobe home that was being built. And so now it's done and we get to go look at it. So we're really, really excited.
Yeah. Okay, we just had a quick lunch with a bunch of the Earthbuilders Guild in New Mexico here over at Monica's restaurant in Old Town, Albuquerque.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Considering I can't have gluten, but so now we're heading to the house that we saw a year and a half ago that was being built.
It was all dried in at the time, Adobe construction.
Right.
It was already looking pretty beautiful at that point. So now we're going to see the finished product, and we'll go ahead and try to film that and share that with you guys too. I think you'll find it real interesting. I know I was impressed with some of the pictures we saw on Instagram that. What was it? Albuquerque Joinery, I think the company's name is. Okay. Anyway, we follow them on Instagram and be able to see their progress as they've been working on it. But it's nothing like getting inside and seeing the real thing,
Right.
So here we go. We're going to drive over there now.
Okay.
Okay, we arrived at the Albuquerque Joinery project, Adobe house. We toured this earlier in the year, or maybe it was late last year or whatever, when it was dried in and still under a lot of construction, a lot of finishing details that we hadn't had a chance to see. So we're about to go in and get the tour, and we'll take you along.
And we have a small company called Albuquerque Joinery, and we design and build Adobe homes, including this one. And so we started this home in June of 2021 and finished it in June of 2022. And the owner, John, moved in shortly after that and agreed to host everybody for this tour today. Yeah, you want to talk about the...
Well, it's all pretty much all masonry, all Adobe masonry. I mean, there's some framing here, some framing we try to minimize it as much as possible. But even the frame walls, we did cover those with mud too, because it just felt like the right thing to do. So we made it's all mud plaster all the way through. You can see how we hold the paint line back a little bit everywhere. Then there's a bunch of reasons for that, but one of them is that we like to show that it's not gypsum plaster, it's not cement plaster, it's just mud. And it's all done in one coat, frame walls, Adobe walls, everything. The fireplace is all masonry because it feels like a real masonry fireplace belongs in a real masonry home. So we did that, we feel strongly about that. All radiant heat in the floors, good insulation in the roof. We just blow in with a kind of old school pocket roof where all the framing is done in place over the beams, so there's nothing decorative about the beam, or the beams aren't purely decorative, they're actually structural elements of the home, all roughs on from wholesale timber and Viga and Fernley.
Helen makes our Adobe bricks.
Helen made all the bricks. Just like almost every Adobe that you see going up anywhere in New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Helen was involved.
New Mexico.
So we have her to thank for supplying us with
Julie also helped us with some.
Did you really? Oh.
Yeah, Nathan Carter.
Oh, wow.
Well, we couldn't do it without Helen and Mark.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Kenny's also a very talented woodworker, so if you check out the kitchen, Kenny built all the cabinets and the countertops in the kitchen. So I don't know if we can all fit in here at once, but the kitchen is worth touring because it's.
So are we okay walking through?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're free to walk through everywhere. So
If anybody has any questions or anything.
Before we disperse, because it'll be easy for everybody to start talking to everyone else,
Yeah.
because it's, this is a tribe here. I mean, you're all here for an earth building kind of reason, right? We're thrilled that all these guests are here. The Earthbuilders Guild is an organization of industry people in all aspects of building earth. From making the adobes to putting the walls up and to every other part of it, including
teaching people how to do it too.
yes, the education part of it. Some of you've been in Kurt's Santa Fe Community College classes. So lots of resources on our website. We welcome a lot of questions. These two are on our board. Helen's on our board. I'm on the board. Don Jordan on our board. Who else? Joe Tibbetts, where are you, Joe? Right behind you. Oh, Joe! Joe's not currently on our board, but Joe teaches a class at Southwest Solar Adobe School. Great resource, like huge
He taught
resources for
class
us.
I went to
7 years.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so cool thing.
Questions for any of us? Ask and enjoy this beautiful home.
yeah, and if you have any questions about the home and construction, plaster and whatever, yeah.
What is the finish on the plaster? Earthen.
So earthen plaster and then BioShield clay paint. So they're a company up in Santa Fe, and they make this paint that's kaolin clay, and you can get it in all sorts of different colors. But what we like about it with the Adobe, as opposed to like a latex paint, it's totally breathable. So just like the Adobe and the earthen plaster, can absorb that moisture, so can the paint here. So it's a great finish. This is how we finished our house as well. And it's kind of our go-to for, painting a mud plaster. It's really a nice product. It's more expensive than a latex paint, but it's a really nice product. And it smells nice when you're painting it, which is nice.
It's nicer to work with.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of what, you walk in an Adobe house and it doesn't have any of that new home smell that a frame home does. Part of it, but there's no latex here. Because that stuff you smell, I don't know if it's bad for you, I'm not a doctor, but it doesn't smell good. And I like this stuff, it just smells like really clean mud. So it's nice to work with.
Yeah.
It smells like wood and earth. Yeah.
Where do you get it from? BioShield.
It's a company in Santa Fe. BioShield clay paint.
BioShield.
Couple of latexes too, so they have a lot of fungicides and a lot of other stuff in there, they don't really divulge.
Right.
It's not food product.
Yeah.
But whatever they want to.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if there's a functional reason.
Video of a close up of the corners of the window there. The wall curves around. That's kind of interesting. Curves with the wall too.
That's really neat. Is that like butcher block, the counter?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Handmade butcher
It's
block.
just gorgeous. I just love the craftsmanship. It's just amazing.
And then zoom over to the electrical outlet, how that's embedded in the wall, in the earthen wall, and how it's sideways too, which probably makes it stronger.
So they're all pretty much sideways. Here's another one. I love the vent. The vent is amazing.
Oh, see, they didn't spare any price for this nice
No,
floor.
they have a really
Floor
nice,
oven.
yep. Oh yeah, I mean, that is just beautiful. I like how
Lots of pictures you got.
they just have like the open shelves. That's,
These two are such craftsmen.
this is
See it,
amazing.
feel it, like a
Yeah.
you know,
see.
Okay.
But I thought we'd share some details from the outside of the house here. And that's like the master bedroom over here.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine a
Like a hot tub.
hot tub outside
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah.
And then the patio off the kitchen area is right behind us here.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
backyard.
having barbecues with family, and I mean,
See
it's
how
just
the-
really nice how they thought ahead.
yeah, the
It's
back
just really
patio,
neat.
how they built that. Nice sturdy
Yeah.
beams. And the rest of the yard, I'm sure that's for next summer's
It
budget.
it needs some love. It needs love, but they just got this done. I mean,
Yeah.
like a few months back. So, yeah, it's always work in progress.
The yard is usually the last thing to get
It's
done.
always landscape. I just kind of.
So behind me here, if I can see, there's the clean outs down here. They'll probably go out to the street behind me to the sewer. But when we toured this as it was getting dried in, this wall in particular had some, the foam insulation, the 2-inch rigid foam insulation on the outside of the Adobe bricks. And they cut a little trench in it for the 2-inch or so, maybe it was only 1.5 inch, plumbing the vent pipes going up to the roof to vent out, so they didn't have to like cut holes in the bricks to put plumbing vents in it. They just route it through a hole in the wall and then bring it up and out through the insulation that's on this side of the house. And then they put the little wire mesh on the back here, staple it or nail it onto the 2-inch rigid foam, and then on top of that they put the finishing. So it's like a mud appearing stucco
Right.
that they do on the outside of this wire mesh to
Right.
do all the finishing work. Yeah, let's just give
And
you
that just, it keeps the bricks safe and insulated and
protected from the
it protects
elements.
it, and it'll last for 100 years or more.
This is the outside of that kitchen. I'll go ahead and flip the video over so we can see that a little better here. You see how they did this nice little curvature of the wall here on the exterior to do the nice finishing details here, along with the window that they framed in. This way, we don't get a lot of rain in New Mexico, but when it does come, it pours. And by having everything so the water just washes away from the window openings and stuff and doorways, is a nice way to build here to keep everything dry. So we're just noticing too the construction of this little fencing around the house. You can see how it goes up higher to normal 5-6 foot height. But along the front here, it's we can see how it's built with little scrap wood branches here on this frame that they poured a nice footing there and then just welded looks like 2-inch pipes together. Looks like some kind of outdoor pipe. Like where it's rusting is of course the exposed weld and stuff, but I'm sure they'll
They should have
come
painted
and
it. And,
seal that and protect it.
yeah, they needed to paint over that.
But this goes around the whole exterior of the house.
Oh, look,
So-
they even did a underneath
Oh.
the sidewalk. Did you see that? They have
Oh yeah, for water
for water
drainage.
flow. Yeah, cool.
But it's neat to see a house that's built with very little wood, but almost as much adobe and soil, earthen materials as they possibly could. They tried to use as little framing as possible. Some interior walls look like they might have been framed, but the builder was sharing that insight to this build that they try to minimize the use of typical construction materials like the framing, and try to really focus on the earthen materials and maximize their use on that.
The
Of
water
course,
will come
water
out.
runoff,
Yeah.
but they need some better way to route it or something, because it's just going to dig holes in the pathway here. Maybe they'll pour a sidewalk or whatever.
Maybe they're gonna do water catchment later.
Yeah, could be. But this is from the front of the house.
Yeah, because they have two that come out in the front of the house too.
And we're just noticing how the fencing, the framing for it, they have some sort of arched tubing through here, steel tubing. And of course it goes all the way back. Thank you for watching an episode of Nature Preserve Life in Mountain Air, New Mexico. If you'd like to follow along and support our channel, please press the subscribe button and gong that bell to be notified. After all, it's free. Free is a very good price. In the future, we'll plan to focus our episodes on our eco-friendly build of earthen construction and dark night astronomy, that big guy there, and tourism of the regional area, as well as establishing a Patreon account for the sole support of wildlife in Deer Canyon Preserve. So stay tuned. Cheers.